World Changers, it's Monet here with Tick Life, and today I'm going to talk to you about some must-reads and must-haves that you can do before you go into the classroom. I know that this has been a great teacher series for a lot of you, and I'm so glad that my tips, tricks, and advice could help you to feel comfortable and confident going into your new journey as a first-year teacher. You have made it. It's about to begin. And honestly, it's okay if you don't feel like you quite have everything in place. Trust me, there are some veteran teachers out there who don't have everything in place come day one. But remember, you are ready, you are equipped, be confident, and it will be just fine. Take it day by day. Some days you may take it hour by hour. It's Monet here with Tick Life, and today I'm going to talk to you about some must-reads and must-haves. I know these books are going to really help you feel prepared and confident going into your first year of teaching. This is going to be the last video of my new teacher series, and I'm about to begin my back to school series, and I have some great videos in mind that I can't wait to share with you all as we all begin our journey in getting ready for the upcoming school year. I'm so excited. I do want to ask that you go ahead and subscribe to my channel. That way you can always know what new videos are coming up, and it's going to help if you press that little bell on the side of it as well, so that you'll be notified as soon as I upload and release it to you all. On Instagram, I do a great job of letting you guys know when I post new content as well. So if you do not follow me on Instagram, go ahead, take out your phone, take out your iPad, whatever you have, and follow me at tick_life. I love talking to all of you wonderful world changers and just really getting to know your journeys and seeing your classrooms and seeing some of the resources that you're using. So I really love social media for that aspect. Go ahead too, if you really like this video or other videos that I've done in the past, make sure you like them and thumbs up. That way other people can find the videos and get these tips as well. And don't be afraid to share it on your Facebook and through emails and other ways that we contact our friends and family. So I don't want to take too much time on that. I do welcome all of my new subscribers. I'm so grateful to have you all join my little community. It's our community. I love speaking with you guys, working with you guys, and hopefully I look forward to collaborating with a few of you. And so thank you again for subscribing to my channel and joining the Teach, Inspire, Change Life community. It's all about getting to know one another, helping one another, and just enjoying the journey in education together. Let's go ahead and jump into some books that I believe will help new teachers as you prep for the upcoming school year. Some of these books you may have already read in your program, or some of your professors or friends may have already recommended these, but I just want to go ahead and put my little stamp on it by just saying that these books that I'm about to present are really informative. A lot of them have anchor charts, strategies, great breakdowns. So if you didn't understand it before, I believe that by reading these books, you'll really get a greater understanding to help you practice it within your classroom. I will be putting up my little journal. I told you guys I am a writer, and I want to make sure that I present the information in fullness to you all. All of the titles and the authors and Amazon links will be in the description box below. So if one of these books you want to put in your Amazon cart or check out at your local library, yes, free local library, I will put all the information below. And I believe that, you know, in this time of rest and restoration, you can read these books and again just feel equipped, confident going into your first year as a teacher. So the first book that I want to recommend that you read is the Common Core Companion, The Standards Decoded, and I actually have that one next to me. This is it. I have it in the grades 3 through 5 because I've explained I've always been upper grades, and so I did not buy the other versions. They have the K2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9, 12 available. It's a great resource throughout the year, so you're not just gonna like sit and just read page by page, cover by cover. This is something that you really take to your planning table to just make sure that you are doing justice to the standards and to your students as well. Another book that I recommend, if you see me scooting, that's because it's quite a bit up here because I wanted to present this stuff to you just so you know I am authentically reading and using these resources. One of the books I have in my storage unit is not with me. I got it my senior year in college, right for I think my last year when we did our student teaching. They recommended that we get the first days of school, how to be an effective teacher. I'm gonna put a picture of it. It'll probably be over here, but I'm gonna put a picture of the book so that you'll know. And again, all books are linked below. I really enjoyed this book. It was actually very helpful. It talks a lot about procedures, rules, developing like your routine, classroom management. It's really big on that, and they do have an updated new edition. I think it's like the 5th edition, I believe. But it was a great tool just for preparing to go into the classroom. The third book I also don't have. It is in my storage unit, but I absolutely love it. I did this book with a group of teachers at a school that I taught at, and it is Teach Like a Champion 2.0 techniques that put students on the path to college. It's a great book. It really gets into just developing your craft. It gives strategies, it gives examples. It's really good. It helped me to, I guess, change or kind of update my classroom procedure, just how we operated, how I operated with my students, how I organized our learning time. Just all around great book. The next book is Classrooms That Work. I actually got this book this summer and I am still reading it now. I picked it up at Goodwill. So I think it was like $1 because I got a discount on the day that I actually went there. I got this Classrooms That Work. They Can All Read and Write. It is the 4th edition. I think they have a 6th edition. A few teachers are collaborating on Instagram and they're doing like a book study together. I think that's awesome. Like, we have evolved from just talking to one another on Instagram to actually reading books and just studying and developing our crafts together. That's awesome. Great book. I used it as a part of my self-reflection during the summer. So I wrote down the things they said effective teachers do. And then I asked myself, do I do these things? Do I do these things well? And if not, how can I strengthen that aspect within my classroom? It's great. Like, I love this book. I don't even know why I haven't read it sooner. I don't know why it took me so long to find this book and utilize it, but it is great. And even though it says read and write, I do believe that the things they say effective teachers do can be applied in other subjects like math, science, and social studies. So don't get discouraged because it says read and write. I believe, again, that this can be applied to teachers that teach any subject. Another great book that I believe all teachers can read and feel stronger within the classroom is The Differentiated Classroom, Responding to the Needs of All Learners. This is really great as well. Kara Ann Tomlinson, you'll see her name. I know you've heard her name in your program. You have had to hear about this woman in your program. It's a great book. It gives tools. I'm really big on books that not only tell you about something, but it shows, it presents research. Like, it really helps you to truly understand it, because the better you understand it, the better you can actually apply it. So I enjoyed this book, and Carol does a great job of that. So those are the books that I feel any first year teacher can read, no matter what grade level you're on, because none of those books were just specific to a certain content or grade level. Like I said, with the Common Core Companion, they have it in various grade levels. So if you don't need a 3-5, you can definitely do the 6-8, 9-12, or K2. The next couple of books I'm getting into are more like ELA heavy. So if you're not an English teacher, you may not want to pick these up, but hopefully you're trying to integrate all subjects into your classroom. Even if you're a science teacher or social studies teacher, these books may help you in a sense with integrating more writing and reading into your curriculum. So the first book, since it's on top, I will say The Daily Five. I read this last summer along with the Cafe book, and I honestly read the Cafe book first, and it mentioned the Daily Five so much that I felt like I had to go read it just to get a better understanding of what these two ladies were trying to get me to understand. I'm really big on just, if I have to, for me to understand, I have to kind of get it presented to me in multiple ways, just like our students. So I read both of these books, and I do incorporate them, but just in my own way. So again, going back to throwing out the bones and keeping the meat. The meat is what you can use and you feel comfortable using, because if you don't feel comfortable with the information that you're reading and being not forced to do, but you want to use, you're not going to do it well. So for me, I have to really wrap my head around it, see it, feel it, brainstorm it in order for me to feel comfortable with practicing it. So great books. The Daily Five at Cafe, this is not just a elementary thing. I believe that it would do well in secondary education as well. You just got to learn how to put your own spin on it. But I think we really need to get away, and I'm going to choose my words carefully, but I think small groups is so key now, because it helps us to reach all of our students and to know all of our students, and help them with their goal of growing and mastery. And so even if you don't do the Daily Five or the Cafe method, it definitely helps you to figure out, okay, how can I incorporate activities in a sense that are still enriching and independent and allow me to rotate and things like nature. So it was good for that purpose. The two books that are behind me right here, the Writing Strategies and Reading Strategies, awesome. That's all I can say. Awesome. Anchor charts are in there. It's not scripted, but it is scripted. It's kind of hard to explain, but everything you need is in front of your face. Make it your own. You can definitely apply them with the resources that maybe your school is requiring you to use. I always love things like that, where I know my school may mandate me to use a certain type of program, but I want to put my own twist on it that maybe the kids need more, because let's be honest, all curriculum that's forced on us is not always in the interest of every student in our class. So I think the Reading Strategies and Writing Strategies book, it helps you to meet each student and to really plan that strategy group or guided reading group. Makes sense? Hopefully. And the last book that I'm going to mention, I actually read it in a master's program that I was pursuing, Why We Teach Now, and it's in here as well. Okay. And this edition is the last edition, so I want to say it's like the 5th or 6th edition. This is awesome. This was more so eye-opening in the sense of, in order to be a great teacher, you have to really know your why. You have to be passionate about education in some sense, whether you're passionate about curriculum, you're passionate about students, changing their lives, inspiring them, giving them the keys they need to be successful in this world that we know is a dog-eat-dog world. And these teachers were all passionate, and they're so passionate because it's like memoirs in a sense. So you get the stories of about 10 or 13 teachers from all around the United States, from different cultures. Not all of them are Title I. Not all of them are public. I believe some of them are charter teachers. So it does a great job of just exposing you to other people's journeys. So I hope those books are, you find those books to be helpful. And now I am going to transition from books that I think that you can read to help you feel comfortable and confident, but also just some things that I feel like you must have. So I already did a items must have video, where I talked about post-its and I talked about speakers and all of that other fun stuff. But I want to get to the core of the teacher. What do I believe effective teachers need to possess to be successful with their students and in the classroom? The first thing that I believe successful teachers must have is perseverance. You have to have perseverance, because every lesson is not gonna go exactly how you planned it. Your encounters with your students, you may have that student that just don't like you. You don't even know why they don't like you. They just don't like you. They're not open to you. They're not open to anything that you're trying to teach them. And you have to have perseverance. You have to pursue them, and you can't give up, because more than likely they need you more than they even know. So you have to be somebody that, yeah, you get knocked down, and you're gonna get knocked down maybe multiple times in 1 year, that you're going to consider that to be your hardest year, but stay in the journey. Another hard year is going to come. You have to be someone that can get knocked down and you bounce back. Yeah, your feelings may be hurt. Shake it off. Yeah, you may be frustrated. Shake it off. Yeah, you may be tired. Shake it off, because these students need you and you need them. Like, you need them. They fulfill a part of you as well. I believe that teachers, great teachers, students are more than just children to them. They're a part of their purpose. And so for you to fulfill your purpose, you need those students. So you have to be somebody that has perseverance. The second must-have is patience. You have to be a very patient person, because you're not only going to need to be patient with students and their growth and their attitudes. You're going to need to be patient with administrators and other adults within a building. You're going to need to be patient with parents, and you're going to need to be patient with yourself, because there are going to be things that you need to teach and do that may be out of your skill set or your comfortable zone, and be patient with yourself to get it right, to master it. And so save yourself some time if you're not perseverant. If you don't have perseverance and you're not a patient person, put it on your prayer list. Put it on your prayer list. The third thing that I feel you must have is vision. You have to be able to see even when it's dark. That's a good quote. I might put that on my Instagram. You have to be able to see even when it's dark. When you go inside of that classroom on the very first day and it's a mess, more than likely it's going to be a mess. You have to have a vision in your head of how you want things to be placed, how you want walls to grab your students from the moment they walk in. You have to have a vision of how you want the lesson to go, and how you want rotations to go. You have to see it. And when you manifest it here, you can then push it out and get it going. So you have to be someone that has vision. And the same goes when you're looking at data, right? Sorry. But the same goes when you're looking at data. For things to grow, you have to see it. And if you can't see it, I mean, you don't know where you're walking, you don't know where you're headed. So definitely know that that is very key in being successful inside of the classroom. The fourth must-have is boundaries. If anybody tell you that you don't need boundaries, they're wrong. You need boundaries. I said in one of my videos this summer that you have to find your identity within the classroom, because guess what? Who you are as a teacher is not who you are as a mom, a spouse, a daughter, a girlfriend, and it's not who you are as a person. Because let's be honest, like, if your name is, I am Monet, and Monet is a person all on her own, and Monet is bubbly and fun and creative and very, I think I'm very optimistic. Teacher Monet, Miss Mike, yeah, she is very stern. I am still approachable, but because I'm upper grades, I do, yeah, just know there are lines. Some of them are physical. Don't come past this line. You're in a bubble. What's your question? Because middle school kids don't know. Children in middle school, they don't know personal space. I don't know if people aren't teaching personal space, but they'll literally come like this close to you and try to talk to you. I'm gonna need you to step that back. So you have to have boundaries in place, and I feel like by having boundaries, you create a space that works for you, and it makes you happier. I didn't always have boundaries as a teacher, not with coworkers, not with administrators, and not within myself. I made myself almost accessible to everything. I wanted my students to always know, if you need something, I got you. So you have to have boundaries, because they just help you to, in my mind, they just help to function. And when students understand your boundaries, when administrators understand your boundaries, they, in a sense, everybody just has a better understanding of each other. I think boundaries are healthy. They're not walls to push people away. I think they are just lines of guidance on how I can best operate within certain spaces. So hopefully that makes sense. And if you want more examples, or we talk a little bit more about my boundaries, I'll let you know. So I just kind of talked about it with the boundaries. They have balance. It's going to be hard to develop it. You got to find it for yourself, but you need to have balance and instruction. I know my first year that was very hard for me, especially when you teach all subjects. A lot of times, you know, it may be a moment where kids don't understand, so you're still pushing it on them. It may be a point where kids are so into the assignment and the activity and the lesson, you don't want to stop, but you have to teach all subjects. You got to get the science in, you got to get the social studies in, you got to get the math in, you got to get the reading, you got to do the writing, you got to do the small groups, you got to do the interventions. Like, it's a lot. So you have to find balance. And so what I did for people that can maybe do this, I am departmentalized. I do reading, writing, and social studies, and grammar. And so what I've done is I rotate writing and social studies, so that way they still get core time. I mean, I integrate them every single day, but I do hardcore lessons on those days, so that way I don't feel pressured to get it all in on one day every day. So develop balance in your instruction, develop balance in your time. Do not be the last teacher in the building every single day. It's very easy to get caught up in that, because your list is always going to be full, and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I'm just staying late to check something off. Yeah, but you can't do that every day. You gotta go home to reset, you gotta go home to get rest, and you gotta get home to take off teacher and to put on yourself. No superhero wears their cape all day every day. If they did, they wouldn't be super. Okay, so become yourself. Go back to who you are. You may not understand this right now because it's your first year, but I promise after a while you'll learn, no, I can't stay in teacher mode all the time. It has to be turned off for my sanity and for my peace. The next must have is character. Be a person that not only says, you know, I am loyal, I am respectful, I am kind, all these things. Just be a person of good character. You have to overall have good character traits, and we know what good character traits are. We know those type of people that we want in our circle, in our bubble, in our space. And if you're going to be in a classroom with 20-something kids and yourself, you have to lead by example. I put a quote on my Instagram where it said, you know, children may listen, but they're guaranteed to imitate, and that's so true. So you can't tell a student, I want you to be respectful, and you're disrespectful. You can't tell a student to be kind and you're not kind. You can't tell a student not to yell or to display anger, and you pop your lid every day. You have to be a person of good character. Say what you mean what you say. Be loving, be kind. Find that balance within your classroom and within yourself, and I promise you will be a healthier person because of it. I'm looking down because I have my handy dandy notes. The next must-have is energy. I don't know whether you're going to get your energy from coffee or your Bible or a good run in the morning or candy on your desk. Like, I don't know where your energy is going to come from, but you have to stay pretty energetic within the classroom. There's nothing worse than going into a dead zone. That's what I call it. When I go into a classroom and it feels dead, there's no life, there's no energy. For me, I have praise and worship every morning on the way to work. I also have coffee 2 times a day. Yes, I need coffee, and it's so interesting because all summer I have not had coffee. It's weird. I need it during the school year because I'm just pushing and walking and moving and monitoring, and I gotta be so alert. I need my coffee. Don't mess with my coffee. But find how to stay positive, how to draw those positive vibes, how to keep a good space, and be very mindful of your energy within the classroom, because it does start and end with you. And the next one is so big, is passion. In order to be a great teacher, you must have passion. You must be passionate about your students. You must be passionate about your why, and it is contagious. That's why I love being departmentalized, because what I teach, I am very passionate about, and I feel like because I am on fire about reading, I'm on fire about writing, when students come into my presence, they have no choice but to pick up a piece of that passion, and take it with them. I've had years and experiences where students have come and they did not like to read, and when they left, they did. They like certain books, and that helped them to grow. Will you change every life? Maybe not, but because you're passionate, you plant that seed for the next teacher to change that life. That's where the community comes in. So be passionate. The next one is creativity. Be creative. Being creative is not always color, music, all those things just pop into our mind. Being creative, just thinking outside of the box. What's another way that I can explain main idea and supporting details? What's another way that I can get my students to complete this task and be on fire and have movement and get up and to collaborate and to talk? Like, be creative. Think outside the box. Your students will appreciate that. And lastly, wrapping it up, you need to have thick skin. You got to have thick skin. Things are going to happen. Stuff is going to make you drop your apple cart, but you got to pick that cart back up and you got to keep trotting. People are going to say things about you. Sometimes it is going to be constructive. Sometimes it's going to be very harsh. You have to be able to say, you know what, that hurt my feelings, but I'm not going off. I'm not going to tell you about yourself. I'm not going to run to the administrator. I'm not going to take it home with me. I hear you, and that's it. For me, what I started saying to myself is, I can't take it personal because they don't know me personally. It is always professional. Even though some people act unprofessional in our classroom settings sometimes, or our school settings, you still have to remain professional and keep that line, right? Go back to boundaries. Never take it personal. Even if somebody tries to attack you personally. I remember one time I was in a meeting with an administrator, and I felt like I was about to dip into my personal basket, which is turned into Monet and not Miss Mike. And I waited for that person to stop ranting, and I said, you know what, I feel like right now is not a good space because I am starting to become very defensive, and I feel like what I say may be harsh and unprofessional. I would really like to talk about this at another time once I get my mind and recenter. That was me saying, look, I'm about to go off. Give me a minute and we can talk about it later. But I didn't say it that way. Y'all heard how I used that language, because I just felt like how they were coming at me, which they were coming unprofessional. That's just my opinion. But the way that they were talking to me, it was really pushing me into a space that I did not want to go into. So I'm going to leave it there. I hope that you enjoyed the must-haves and the may-haves. I am going to give you the question of the day. Today I want to know, what are some must-haves that you believe you need to be successful? And what is a good book that you've read that you would like to recommend to somebody else? Remember, we're just a community that's aspiring to teach, inspire, and change. We're world changers, and so I love when we can talk below. If you have other comments that you want to share, maybe I said something that you agreed with, maybe I shared something that you disagreed with, put it below. Let's have a conversation. I love putting things on the table. Again, thank you for watching. If you have not, go ahead and subscribe. Thank you to all my new subscribers, and I look forward to talking with you guys soon. Have a great day.